That's the only. Well, my friend goes to Hard Rock. We've never gone together to Hard Rock, but
is that the one next to Borgata?
It used to be the Revel.
I don't know.
Ocean's the one with the big ball on the top. That used to be Revel, and then it went out of business.
I can count on one hand how many times I've been to Atlantic City. So, yeah.
I'm going down there.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm cheap. I don't like to gamble because if I lose money, I'm like I could have had that money. So
you could have won money though. No.
Could have.
Doesn't happen.
Could have lost it too.
Could have lost it. So, welcome to the Accuracy International podcast.
Thank you.
Accuracy International. I wish it was Accuracy International.
Yeah.
Accuracy,
you'd have to pay them a lot of money to call that.
We'll cut
title it that.
Accuracy Matters podcast. My name's Dan Cogan. I'm the owner and founder of 360 Precision, and today I have one of my good friends, Jordan Glassman, here to talk with us and give us the lowdown on Left Edge Society. Mm-hmm. That is a training company that you started in 2025.
Mm-hmm. Myself cool. and Bob Hall and Matt Radford was part of it. He's no longer with us for whatever reasons. Not
he's
a big
still
deal.
Alive.
But yes. Oh yeah. No, he's still here. he's still alive. Yes. Just it. Things didn't pan out the way we thought they would. That's fine. No big deal. But myself and Bob now.
Just you and Bob.
Yeah.
And then during the day, Jordan is a police officer, and he also likes to pretend to be Batman. That's why he's in black.
Maybe.
And but
if Batman wore no clothes, then yes. Yeah.
He likes his utility belts.
Mm-hmm.
So after Jordan did a fairly long career of tactical competitive shooting and doing some PRS stuff, then
yeah.
And you still do.
Yeah, here and there.
You just completed Mammoth, right? This last.
So Mammoth. So I was ROing just this past weekend.
Oh, you didn't actually.
I didn't compete. No, I've done 5 of them now.
You were pussing out there a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. It's nice from the other side. It rained a lot, and I stood underneath a tent, which is the smart thing to do. They got shafted on weather this year. It was warm, but it rained a lot on Saturday, so that sucked for them. But yeah, it's PRS I don't really do a ton of anymore. I RO'd up at the Geisley Range for the finale last year.
Okay.
I didn't even shoot Mason Dixon last year. Just doing some more into like the team sniper comps, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool. So I want to just make sure for our podcast, go to YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe to the video. And then click that little bell there so that you get notifications. Would really appreciate that, so we can continue to keep filming all these podcasts for you guys and all the other content that we get to post up on our socials. So Jordan and I are going to start off just talking about a little bit of the LEO police experience and kind of how that then translates into the training aspect of how all that comes together. The LEO experience, the training, the competitive shooting aspect, and then kind of tying that into how we bring that all together into training.
Yeah.
New shooters and experienced shooters and
yeah.
all of the above, really. So.
Yeah. So, been a cop for 19 years now. I'm old, man. I'm old.
This from the
yeah,
guy. I'm
old. I just turned 40 this year. I got gray hair and shit.
That's not old. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, well, it sure feels like it. I've been a cop for 19 years. Been doing the tactical stuff on the department SWAT team for I don't know how many years it's been off the top of my head. I'd have to think about that one. Math is not my strong suit. Yeah. Was a cop for a while. Was never really into shooting all that much before I became a cop. Did some stuff here and there, but nothing major.
Right.
And then got into long guns, rifles, that kind of thing on my own, like not through work at all. And then decided my problem is if I get a hobby, I need to keep myself interested or I'll lose interest.
Yeah.
So shooting to me was a hobby, and I'd go to the range. I'd go shoot, kind of like how everybody starts. I'd go lay down, shoot prone. Oh my God, I shot a group this big at 100 yards. Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a marksman.
I still do that to this day. Don't tell anybody. But But yeah, so like that's all I was doing. The problem was I knew if I didn't do something to further that, I would get bored.
Gotcha.
So my hobby before shooting was motorcycles. Loved motorcycles, rode motorcycles, worked on motorcycles, had a
off-road or
just Harleys,
like Harley,
yeah, like that kind of thing.
Not dirt bike type.
No, I had a sport bike once, but that didn't last long. But like I had this whole shop in my garage. I had a lift, I had everything. I would take the whole bike apart, put it back together, like, and then that got old. So then I was like, all right, sold all my motorcycle stuff. I want to buy a rifle. So bought a rifle, and then I knew if I didn't do something to make it worth my while to stay into it, I'd probably get bored of that too, you know? So I was like, okay, competition.
Okay.
Because competition is going to make me stay active, want to get better. Like you're always chasing something.
Right.
Right. So for me, that kept me in it. So I started looking for stuff. I met a friend. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but I met a friend, Chris Baker. We were just talking about him from Mason-Dixon, right? He's like a Mason-Dixon legend. So if you're watching Chris, hi, haven't talked to you in a while.
Give us a ring.
Yeah. He's playing with cats.
He still shoot. Well, he was shooting last year. I think some of the gas gun matches.
He was. Yeah, I think he still does. But he was a really good shooter. He very good. But anyway, we had met through Sniper's Hide.
Okay.
So online forum. So I was buying I was buying something off him, or vice versa. I forget. But we ended up meeting once, and then that was, you know, kind of started a friendship from there. So I remember him and I signed up for the Mason-Dixon. It was then the Mason-Dixon Sniper Series, MDSS.
Okay.
We signed up for the Mason-Dixon Pro-Am, which the Pro-Am was you got teamed up with a pro as an amateur, and you shot the match as a team.
Okay.
So it was a different format than now, which we'll get into. But yeah, so it was fun. So I got paired up with a guy, Dwayne from Virginia, who shot for War Rifles, who's now, you know, well, always has been Drew, but obviously Drew, but
right.
They were active back then. And Chris got paired up with somebody else. I can't remember his name, but I won that match with my partner, Dwayne.
So you thought you were
so I was like, I'm awesome. I was like, I found something in life I'm good at, you know?
The first thing. Mm-hmm. First thing in life is the hardest.
But yeah, that didn't last long. It's the only thing I ever beat Chris at. So yeah, after that, it was like, you know, you get that first high and you're like, you got to chase it. Yeah, it didn't pan out that way. I don't think I've ever won a Mason-Dixon. I don't think I've ever won a Mason-Dixon match outright after that.
You won the DMR division ever?
Yeah, all right, so yeah, like tactical division. So fast forward through all that crap, but yeah, so I ended up shooting tactical division. I always liked shooting a 308. I don't know why. I like hard things, I guess.
It's that cop mentality.
Yeah, so that's kind of part of it, right? So if I'm shooting a bolt gun and I want to do things, so my ultimate goal when I got into it wasn't to do it on the police side per se, but it was always in the back of my mind that if I do this, it'll put me on the right path, and like it puts you in that position to be like, hey, that's our guy to do this,
right? You
know? So I always shot 308, and it is what it is. Sometimes it's pain in the ass, but you know what? I looked at it as it's a double-edged sword, kind of in a good way. If I sucked, well, I'm shooting a 308, so yeah, it sucked.
It wasn't me, it was the gun.
Yeah, but if I did well, I did that with a 308. So eat shit, dude, you know? So yeah.
What about, like we had talked a little bit before about just training as what you get offered as a police officer and through the department and so forth. Not that we're saying anything bad at this point, but...
Yeah, no, we can go on and say it because some people need to hear the truth and some people don't like to hear it. But yeah, as a cop, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
Like, look, some departments maybe. That's not the majority. The majority is you don't get anything other than what's mandated for you to still stay employed there. So if, like, for us, we have to qualify twice a year. On those qualification days, you know, maybe your training unit will come up with a drill or two to do something. You know, maybe a little extra, but other than that, you don't get anything. Like, so many cops are so terribly trained, it's not even funny. And we can go into it later on why I started a training company. But yeah, they just don't get anything. And the flip side of that is that so many cops aren't motivated to go train on their own, which sucks. Like I hate that about my profession because nobody will go seek training on their own because that costs money. Like cops are notoriously cheap, you know, and well that costs.
Case in point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like nobody is willing to go train on their. Well, how much does that cost? Man, I can't do that, or I can't give up a day or two, or take your own time or whatever. So yeah, cops don't get that. So
unless you're in like SWAT or
so like on the team, like we get training and we can go to things and here and there, but I'll give you an example. Like I will put in to go to certain outside training classes.
Right. So
like I own a training company. I still go to other people's training classes. Like just because like you never are done learning. If you think you're done learning, like you're wrong. So I still go to outside training. Like I'll pay for my travel. I'll pay for the classes. Every once in a while, I can get a class paid for, but that's it. I'm not getting my travel. I'm not getting my food. I'm not getting hotel. I'm not getting any of that.
Right. So just pay for the class.
Yeah, maybe. Right. Like back in not to skip all around, but like back in 2020, I think it was. Like I went out to Hat Creek. If anybody knows what Hat Creek is, that's like the mecca of long range shooting, and training.
In Idaho.
Like, in Idaho. Like Brian Morgan owns that place, and it's phenomenal. It's an awesome place. I saw an opening for a civilian course. Like they don't offer like just an LE course, so it's just open enrollment civilian because they do most military stuff there. Like it was at the time. It was $2,500. That was just for the class.
And that's what, a 3 or 4 day?
That was 4 days.
4 days.
Room and board on site. Like it's a phenomenal place.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to check it out, go for it. It's awesome. And I recommend going there for a civilian course. They offer them every now and then. But the point I'm making is that I saw that opening and I was like, I want to go there and learn. Just learn from people that I know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That was all out of pocket. Department wasn't paying for that. So flights, whatever food and travel you needed to get up to there, and then the price of the class. Like, it's a lot of money, but you have to invest in yourself to get better.
Yeah. Nobody's going to do it for you. So
that's what you did.
Yeah.
So moral of the story is, cops are trained like shit.
Yeah. Particularly, again, like we said, like if you're not on any special team or unit or anything like that, then it's.
Yeah. And even in that, like you get people on teams that aren't, yes, they're on a team. Yes, they're doing more things than your basic patrol officer. But look, nothing's perfect either. Anybody watching this that's on a tactical team is going to know that guy when I say there's that guy that really doesn't want to do much. Everybody knows that guy. And if they don't know that guy, so, yeah. Maybe you're that guy.
So what, you started shooting competitively in 2016, 17?
So 2016, 2017.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, is when I started. Like I said, there was that Pro-Am, I think was in 2016. I could be wrong. It could be 2017. I'm not sure. It's somewhere around there.
Do we have a picture? Did I forget? Do we have a picture? I think maybe this one.
I'm waiting for the most random picture to show up.
Oh wait, this is Jordan. This is the police Jordan.
Yeah.
He looks very serious.
Yeah.
You look too.
You
serious.
can't smile in pictures. It's the rules.
That is the rule?
Yeah, it's the rule. You can't smile in a picture.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
I thought that was only when that's from A Million Ways to Die in the West with you ever see that movie with the guy?
What's his name?
The guy that made smile. You can't smile because if you smile, like they all they had to stand still so long for the picture to develop.
Yeah, because they put the thing up in the air with the flash. I can't.
And then they finally said that like they found somebody that smiled in a picture, and it was like that was like a cool thing.
Yeah. I just remember the mustache song.
Oh yeah. With Doogie Howser.
It's so terrible when you put it like that. Yeah.
And then we have. So wait, here's a. There we go. There's. So we can talk about that. So let's dig into this picture here.
So let's analyze this. So I gave Dan this picture because it is a prime example of you don't know what you don't know. This was my first 2-day match. It was a 1-day match down at Peacemaker in West Virginia. It was the first time we'd ever traveled down there. It was a group of us from people that shot Mason Dixon. And this is prime example of what not to do.
Everything is wrong.
Yes. So let's go. Let's first off with the position. Okay, the position that is a all day long modified prone position. off of the top of that barrel.
Yep.
Not even a question. So let's talk about what Jordan didn't do. So let's see, the bipod being angled at a 45-degree back. I'm pretty sure that was just, I was trying to get sponsored by B&T at that point. To like, look what this bipod can do.
It can go
because
backwards.
That's stupid. So don't do that. Bring the bipod legs in and put them down at a 90-degree angle because there's no reason for them to be up that high. Let's see, we should move the gun forward and actually put the rear bag behind the gun. Underneath it in the back, so that way we could actually be supported.
I like it where it's hanging.
Yeah, well, I kept it there for moral support. But I didn't. Yeah, but I didn't actually use it. And then I have a pump pillow between my knee and my arm. Again,
doing nothing.
Not sure that what that's doing. And then I'm angled forward with my leg angled backwards up on my tiptoe instead of having it flat on the ground. And I got sweet knee pads though.
They are some nice knee pads. I will.
But yeah, so that's that. I don't. But again, here's a prime example, right? And this is what comes back to people that seek out training and wherever else, or there's so much that somebody could just look at this and analyze this position for a new shooter and be like, no, do this, and this, and then they'd be like, holy shit, and the light bulb would come on, and they'd be, like, you know what I mean? But they don't know that. I didn't know that. I mean, you can learn from experience and going through this, or watch YouTube videos or whatever, or you go get training from somebody and they tell you, and it does not just us, but anybody, and then they can fix you in an hour, and then all of a sudden you're doing it the right way, and you're like, holy crap, I'm a freaking sniper now. I tell myself.
That's what you tell yourself in the late nights of sleeping and that you're a good shooter. And then you end up shooting
I've never heard that.
You've never
the only
heard
person
that?
that tells you I'm a good shooter is my mom because she has to.
But did she have you tested?
For what? There's so many things.
For just being, special.
You don't need to be tested for that. I don't. I already know the answer to that one.
This proves that you're special. This is at Mace? No, this is at Mayberry. So this is the creek we were talking about.
Yes.
So that's where people decided to go in and have some fun. And when it's too hot, you go in that creek and you.
Yeah. So this
is. You used to be able to. Now you can't.
So this is Mayberry. Again, a Mason-Dixon venue that Mason-Dixon PRS uses. This is when Joe and I were both running the Mason-Dixon series, and this is, I don't know. I feel like this is one of those pictures that needs to be titled like a painting. Like Men in Thought, like something like that. Like you should take this picture, you should crop out the sides, right, and then just have us or have somebody work their magic like AI.
I'm pretty sure we could put that into AI and then that would happen. Yeah,
so that would go away, and then crop it down on the sides, like put it in some sort of filter so it looks like an oil painting, and then frame it. If that's not in your office in the next month, you're fired. I don't know what, but you're fired.
I keep asking to get fired. No one will do it.
Your wife will fire you.
Oh yeah, she fires me every day.
Yeah, but yeah. So that was fun. I still remember that.
So that's the two of you.
Yeah.
And then we have another match here. What do we got? We got this match. This is a bunch of you. This was what, a 2-day match?
So this was a 2-day match. So a little backstory on this. So a bunch of us had gotten together up at Mason-Dixon. We all met each other. Third from the left, that's Chris Baker.
Is that Pat in the back?
Yep, it's Pat Curran.
He
That's all the way on the right. I'll give a shout out to
now.
Robert Pervins. He works for Spur over in Sweden. He came over for this match. So we all met down there. We all drove down or met, obviously, with Robert flying over. But that was at Core in Florida, which is now Altus,
right?
Which is now Ridgeline.
Oh, they changed it? I didn't even know
Ridgeline
they
purchased
changed the
it.
game?
Ridgeline
because they purchased it. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's not the same group that bought Peacemaker, though.
No, totally
different group. Okay.
Yep. But this was a picture of all of us. We were in Squad 4. There's Matt Tuzo. He's below Pat. Still friends with him. He's a good guy.
Oh yeah, we talked about Matt about
throwing bags.
Throwing a bag. Yeah.
See, look, I already knew.
Yeah.
I already knew. I have a cartoon that we made of Matt throwing a Game Changer bag. It's great. Matt has the best tantrums. They're classic. But this was So this was down at Core. This was our first real 2-day match.
Okay.
We drove down to Florida, got a campsite nearby, and we showed up early as hell. There was we developed this thing where like we were always in squad 4. So we had those shirts made to go down to this match. And down the back of the shirt, it says squad 4. Squatting. Oh, see, now they didn't do squatting through practice school or anything. You had to squad when you got there. We showed up. We're like waiting for Black Friday deals to get in so we could sign in squad 4. Because if we didn't get to sign in on squad 4, those shirts look pretty stupid. Yeah.
Confusing the hell out of the RO. Like, wait, what the hell are you? Like, why are your shirts in squad 4?
So we shot that in squad 4. It was an awesome time. I love that place. I've been down there a bunch of times. The staff are great. There's an RO that I met there for the first time. His name's Eric Lundberg. I'm going to make sure he watches this podcast. He is an awesome RO. He's an awesome guy. He's down from Alabama. He just retired from ROing, but just a phenomenal dude. But I met him there. So, like, I know you've in your other podcast you've talked about this, but you meet so many good people doing this.
Oh, 100%.
That a lot of this stuff becomes like these are like your only friends in life that you meet through this, and then you develop. For like, I go to dinner with Matt Tuzo and his wife all the time. Like, not all the time, but every so often. And like our kids have hung out. We go to family parties. Like, I met all these people doing this stuff. So because it's normally, for the most part, 99.9% of the time, really good, genuine people that do this stuff. You're not getting shitbags that come out and shoot matches. So
well, there's those couple, but we distance ourselves, and typically they leave anyway. So
they fade out. But so that's the backstory on that pick.
That's a good pick. I like Altus as well. I've been down there a few times. They have the Accuracy International. What's it called? It's an outlaw match. I think it's just called is it Snipers?
So no, it used to be it was a PRS match.
Yeah, but now they have a last couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know what they call it. Who knows? But
that's actually a super fun match. I really like shooting that. We didn't shoot it this last year because I really didn't shoot anything this last year. But that's a great facility to go to if you ever get a chance, man. That definitely is one of the top places to get to go to shoot a match. So this is cool.
Yeah, so this picture is from the Allegheny Sniper Challenge. So it doesn't exist anymore. They don't run this match anymore. It was down in Seneca Rocks, West Virginia. So the story behind this match is I only got to shoot it once. There's a lot of people that have shot it numerous times, but you used to have to put in for it and you would get selected to go. There was, what the criteria was, I couldn't tell you. I put in once.
What got you?
Yeah,
what got you in?
I put in once and got selected to go. I don't know if I knew people that shot it, so I don't know if that helped, or maybe somebody put in a good word and said, "Hey, yeah, let him shoot it," and I don't know about it. If they did, thanks, but I don't know. But I got to shoot it once, and it was kind of like a kind of score yourself type thing. You walked around to these different shooting positions, and like, okay, there's a position next to the tree. There's some steel down there. Somebody would have a thing to know what steel was down there, what you were looking for, and it's just like, okay, shoot those pieces of steel, self-score it. You only got so many shots at each piece of steel or something like that, and then, but it was all up in the mountains.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
It's awesome, and they didn't. It was an awesome event because it wasn't PRS. There were no real rules, and it. How do I describe it? It was basically like a men's match, so to speak. Don't complain about anything. Like, shut the fuck up. Just come here, have a good time, shoot your rifles. Like, a lot of top-tier guys will go there and train. I think they still use the property for training. It's just not open to the public or anything. They don't run matches.
Okay.
But they used to hand out, and I still have a picture of it. I'll see if I can get it to you. But it was a hurt feelings report. And they gave it to you in the paperwork to fill out. And it's like, where were your feelings hurt? At what time? Did you cry? Yes or no? And all these check boxes. So it's a really awesome match. It was a really good time. And I'm glad I got to experience it.
So where do we got? So we got. Oh yeah. So here's this. I love this picture because what you don't realize.
That guy's
this
a nice
picture,
ass.
Yeah, it actually looks like the game changer could be Bill's ass, but
he doesn't have that big of an ass. He's
it's not.
guy.
Yeah, he's too skinny for that to be his ass. But yeah. I like the fact that you're shooting off of.
So this was at
don't fart.
This was at the Guardian, I believe. So Guardian matches. I think you're familiar with those,
team
match. So I don't know if they do team matches much anymore, but either way, their whole premise is fundraising. So all their matches are fundraising. It's a good cause. This was at GTI in South Carolina, shooting off a tower down into a field, but you had to use your partner for support. So how do we use our partner for support? Well, I'm going to shoot prone because it's stupid not to. but I'm just going to support the back of my gun off of his ass with my Game Changer bag. I think we came in second overall in this match, so it must have worked.
Yeah.
Bill might have liked it a little too much, but that's
Bill,
fine.
here's Bill, right? Yeah, here we go. So there's you and Bill.
Same spot.
Same spot.
Yeah, for I guess different circumstances, whatever. But yeah, so not off each other's ass at this point.
I like the previous picture better.
Yeah.
Personally.
You print it out, I'll sign it for you.
All right, cool. That looks like that'd be a good one. That's a good one to mount in my office. I like that one. Particularly that it's signed is makes it worth money. I'll sell that for money someday.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
So a lot of matches, right? You've been around, shot a lot of different matches. And you really like the team match component to it.
Yeah.
More than
So PRS is good. So I don't want to knock PRS.
No, nothing. Just preference.
It's just different, right? Yeah. So I think the way I look at it is, if we get back to like the cop thing a little bit, is that competition is awesome because it allows you to assess yourself. You get trigger time, you learn, but it allows you to assess yourself, what gear you have, what you're using, what works, what doesn't. Puts you under a little bit of stress. You can't induce full stress for any sort of situation, but you can kind of mimic it somewhat. So you put yourself on a timer, right? I think you were talking with Ryan about that because as soon as somebody hits the timer and you're just so it helps.
The mind changes a little bit.
So it's good trigger time to learn and assess your skills. The team sniper comp stuff is really good though because now it's all blind stages. Now you're thinking on the clock. You can't really complain. Not to say PRS has complainers in it, but you can't complain about target distance. You can't complain about, I want to reshoot on this, or I don't think this was fair. Look, here's your stage brief. The targets are out there. Fucking find them. Shoot them.
Yeah.
If you hit them, awesome. You get points awarded. If you don't, sucks to suck. Move on to the next one. I kind of like that aspect of it, and I think it's more fun. I think it's more fun to shoot things blind, kind of, guessing. Now, going back to PRS, a match that got me into the blind stage stuff, and some people will remember it, is a match called PPRC.
Okay, yeah.
I forget what it stands for. It's but it was the only PRS match I ever shot with blind stages, and you knew that going into it. I shot it at Rock Castle, which is now closed.
Yeah.
If people know that facility.
Down in Kentucky, right?
Yeah. Everybody, I think, loved and hated that place all at the same time. It's an interesting place.
It's Kentucky.
It is, but it was. But yeah, not to knock anybody in Kentucky. This is where you flash something on the screen. Please, nobody in Kentucky sue us. But it was a cool place to shoot. But anyway, so Ryan Castle ran that match, and it was all unknown. You basically locate, range, and engage is what you had to do all on the clock, and that format was awesome to me. I shot TAC class all the time at PRS. I won top TAC in that. It was an awesome time. So that kind of got me started and then hooked on the sniper matches, whatever you want to call them.
Team challenges,
Yeah.
Type.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So the only match I ever shot was actually with Garrett, and we did the NRL. Now that you can shoot either way. You can shoot it as an individual, or you can shoot it as a team. And then there's you place differently. Obviously, there's the teams that then score against each other, and there's the individuals that score against each other. Because I think you get 4 minutes on the clock. At least how it was when we shot that match. It was 4 minutes if you were an individual, and you got 6 minutes if you were shooting the stage as a team. But I also like that because it was a blind stages. You literally couldn't see the targets. You literally ran up 20, 40 yards to the firing line, and then you had to go find the targets and range them and get all your dope. Like everything was on the clock.
Yeah, it's fun. It gives you like a little adrenaline rush. It's fun because you can't sit there, like it doesn't matter where you shoot. Like everybody that shoots PRS, like you never want to shoot first. You're like, I don't want to shoot first. Like I don't know the wind. The person can't give me the wind call.
I can't get my wind call off the guy in front of me.
But like there is no apprehension with that with blind stages because
everybody's shooting first.
Everybody's shooting first. You don't know it. Now look, do you sit there and maybe hear something, or maybe like, I think the whatever, right?
Yeah,
we're human. We're all going to listen and be like, did I hear anything? No, it happens. But there is no, who cares? You're just there to shoot the stage. Nobody's going to see it until you go shoot it.
Yeah.
So I think that's fun, and I think that helps to the flip side of the work aspect, because if you get called somewhere to, have to deploy, do whatever, you're not going to know what it looks like when you get there.
Yeah.
You're gonna have no idea. You might, now if you work in a certain area, you're going to be familiar with certain things in your area, but I don't give a shit how much you study your area. You weren't there when somebody was shooting people, or you weren't there when something major was going on. So it's going to look different when you're stressing the hell out because you don't know what you're going to encounter. So look, you can't train the real thing, but you can sure as shit try to train as best you can for the real thing. And I think that helps the most.
And we'll get into that a little bit later when we talk about the training as the fundamentals, right? The fundamentals are really the key, because if you have good fundamentals, then those go into, and Ryan and I talked about this a lot, those go into the kind of subconscious, right? You're not thinking about, those are things you don't have to then think about because they're just instinctual, like, oh, I'm just going to do this, and this.
Yeah.
And now you can worry about the other stuff that's going on in the situation.
If you build yourself a good foundation, like you said, we'll go into it. I don't want to go down rabbit holes, but if you build a good foundation and practice them enough, like nobody's going to be perfect. We're all human. But if you practice them enough, like you said, they become subconscious to where I'm not worrying about that. Right. I can worry about the task at hand.
Yep. So when you, I don't know if I missed it, but you were doing the motorcycle thing and then you went into shooting.
Yeah.
What was the, like what
motivated that?
What was that? It's not like the two are related in some way.
So I was a cop at that point.
Okay.
So I was already, I shoot guns for a living. I wasn't into the Cogan.
I go to work every day, I shoot guns.
Yeah.
No, I don't know the cops.
Not on a normal basis. But like I was already doing that to a certain extent. It just wasn't really that. It wasn't a big part of my life like it is now.
Right.
But I got out of that, and I had. It's funny. I don't know if I ever told anybody this, but I remember I went to my local gun store. Yeah, exclusive. Heard it now. Only here. But I had went to my gun store. I don't remember how old I was, but I bought a box of .308 ammo. It was the red box, the American Eagle crap, and I didn't even own a .308 rifle.
Just wanted ammo.
But I just wanted the ammo, so I went and bought a box of 20 rounds. I wonder what it cost back then compared to now.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I just kept it. I kept it in my drawer with where I keep my handgun and stuff. Whatever. I kept it in there. I don't know. I was just like, I always wanted to get a rifle and shoot far. I always thought that was cool, but I never really got into it. So got out of the motorcycle thing, sold all that stuff, and some people can attest to this, but once you get out of a hobby and sell all the stuff you had for that hobby, you don't realize how much money you had invested in that hobby. Like I recently got out of reloading. So when I shot PRS and got into competition shooting, I got really heavy into reloading. Super heavy. Like I was, tweezers with kernels, auto tricklers, you name it, I had it. And I was reloading like crazy. Then I kind of once I stopped shooting PRS a bunch and got into more team stuff, I reeled that back. Plus, it takes a lot of time. I got little kids and all.
Huge. That's the. Yeah. I literally. I've always told people, if you can not reload and somebody made the ammo. Well, we talked about this with Joe, one of the pocket, like going to is it Copper Creek or, there's now a bunch of companies that will make your ammo for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, to me. I mean, I guess because honestly, like you said, all that money that you spend on reloading, take that, and yes, that ammo is more expensive.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go spend the thousands and thousands upon thousands of dollars and the hours, unless you love it. If it's something you love and you really like that, picking those those kernels out.
I did for a while.
So yeah. I mean it's cool. I mean, it's something you can do.
It's fun. Like I said, it's time consuming. It's fun to see the results. When you do all that work and then you go to the range and you're like, all right, let me test some of these loads that I made up.
Right.
And you're getting SDs of like 1, 2, and you're shooting these one-hole groups. You're like, that's awesome, right? The flip side of that is, again, like I said, it's time consuming. I got kids. I actually tried to get my daughter to help me reload once, and it was cool like one time, and she's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So she didn't really have much interest in it. And like, I don't want to spend all day in my basement when I come home from work making rounds and stuff like that. And you have a match coming up and like it's the day before and you're like, I still got to reload for that.
Reload.
And like shooting .308, it was cool to reload .308. It's, it was fun to get those SDs really, really low and all that kind of fun stuff. But I decided to make a switch and be like, look, I'm going to get rid of all the reloading stuff. Box ammo these days is so much better than what it used to be.
Oh,
right.
100%.
Like at work, we shoot gold medal match. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of work ammo because,
yeah, it's a different story.
Yeah, but gold medal match 308 ammo, I get SDs of sub 10 all the time out of my gun. I'm not good enough. Look, there are people that are. I'm not good enough to outshoot that and be like, well, that's holding me back. It's not. I decided to make the switch to go, I'm going to shoot factory ammo because you get good results, and I'm going to focus on my actual shooting. You know, building positions, working on the fundamentals, that kind of thing, and put my time and effort into that versus my time and effort into loading ammo. If I have an SD of 10 on box ammo, I'm not going to shoot, that's not going to do anything to change how I hit the target downrange. My shitty position is going to really change that.
Much more effect.
Because my shitty position is going to make me miss that target because I'm wobbling around, I'm not steady, I'm not focusing on my fundamentals when I'm pulling the trigger on the shot. Yep, so 100%. I don't care if that ammo has an SD of 0 across 100 rounds. I'm still going to throw it off the target, and it doesn't matter at that point. So I got rid of all the reloading stuff. So the point being is that when I got rid of all my reloading ammo, I didn't realize how much money I had tied up in that crap. Oh my God.
He's buying a boat.
It's not yacht money. It's not, but it was a lot. So yeah, so once I got out of that and then focused on some other stuff, totally different. So yeah, so I think we got a little convoluted there, but getting out of the motorcycle stuff and selling all that crap, you're like, oh, I got money now, so I'm gonna go buy a rifle. So I went and bought a rifle and then just went down the hole.
Spent it all down, and then the yacht money turned into
yeah, a lot of misses downrange. That's what it turned into. It turned into a lot of misses. But you know what? Those you learn from that. All that crap you go through, all that sucking that you do along the way, all the crap that you buy that you think you need and then you don't. It's kind of a learning process.
Yeah.
And when people say, you know, looking at it from the training standpoint, when people say, "Oh, I can help you avoid all those mistakes," kinda, you know, but at the same time, those mistakes are what helped me learn a lot along the way. So yeah, should you go learn from somebody? Sure, but you kind of need to make those mistakes along the way to help you get better.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, there's the things that you learn by experience and things that you should probably just maybe accept that someone tells you that knows what they're doing.
100%.
Right? So there's times that, yes, that helps, and there's other times that, look, you could save yourself a lot of time and energy and money and so forth if you just go listen to somebody and
100%.
get what they tell you to go get.
But everybody should end up with that pile of shit in the corner that we all thought was a good idea at the time, and now it's not.
I just threw away like half of my stuff out of the room. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, training for yourself initially, you did what to train yourself to get? I mean, we talked a little bit about you went to Hat Creek.
So in the beginning, so that was kind of like later on, but like in the beginning, I just kind of, it was going to matches, like trial by fire.
Okay.
You know, YouTube videos. There's a lot of crap on YouTube to watch. I mean, you pick a topic, it's there, like just for shooting stuff. So how to shoot positional, what a PRS match is like, what scope does this? Should I pick this or that? You know, just sitting there watching that stuff, you know, there are a lot of craps that probably should have been 5 minutes that turned into an hour because I started going down a rabbit hole on YouTube and watching stuff.
So Jordan's there 2 a.m. in the morning just watching his freaking YouTube videos.
If it's 2 a.m. in the morning, I wasn't watching shooting videos. Anyway.
That's a whole nother topic that we're
moving right along. But yeah, just kind of, it's just a trial by fire and watching other people, you know, going to these matches and seeing other people that were good shooters. You know, we talked about Bill because, you know, shot matches with Bill and Bill ran Mason Dixon and all that, but he was a really good shooter. Watching what he did and be like, oh, I see what that guy did. Let me try that or something like that. And hey, that worked. Oh, that didn't work for me. Or maybe it did work for him, but I executed it like crap. You know, something like that. So you learn by doing that. I didn't go to classes early on, and I think it would have been beneficial. I don't know what was really popular then as far as like who was training what. I mean, there's people in the industry that have been there for a long time, and they're always kind of relevant. But you know, I didn't do that, and maybe I should have. Who knows? But
yeah, everyone picks their course and gets get somewhere down that line, kind of figures out what works for them, and kind of again, it's a all learning curve that you're just basically on a path of whatever your path is to get from point A to point B to become a good shooter.
You're going to figure stuff out along the way, and if you stick with it long enough, you're bound to get. I say good, but you're bound to get better. You know, because you stick around for so long, you're just going to learn things. It's just the nature of doing stuff. You know, you're in business with 360, and along the way, you've learned things along the way, and you got better at them. You know,
some of them, maybe a little bit. Some of it might have gotten dumber at. I don't know.
Maybe. I guess you got better at building guns.
I did get better.
Maybe. Is this thing any good?
It's okay. I mean, it shoots pretty well.
I'll let you know. That scope's stupid though. No, that's good.
Gonna have all sorts of hate.
Matt Radford loves Z-comps. I just had to put that out there. That's the only scope he'll shoot. If it doesn't have Z-co on it, I'm not shooting it. Anyway.
I love Matt, so. Well, not that way, but I like Matt.
Matt has a man bun.
Yeah, I have seen. Last match I saw
love man buns. That was cool. Play with it. But yeah, so anyway, so did that, YouTube videos, that kind of stuff. And then as I got more into it, then I translated it more into work. Oh, so I'll take a step back for a second. So somebody that was an inspiration for me a little bit, and somebody I met shooting Mason Dixon. So I shot the Pro-Am, and then after that I started signing up for their regular matches. So there was a guy that used to run matches for the Mason Dixon Sniper Series. His name was Bob Dupree. He'll laugh if he hears this. I don't know if he will, but just an old grumpy guy, right? And maybe he'll laugh. Maybe he'll just stare at me like he has sometimes, just a blank stare. But he was a retired Pennsylvania State Trooper. He did like sniper classes and that kind of thing. But he used to run matches. Real hard ass guy. Some people hated him for it. They didn't like him. I don't know why, but I gravitate to people like that because you can kind of tell real fast when you're talking to somebody whether they know their shit or not, or whether you should really believe him or not.
Yeah.
And you could tell all right, this guy knew something. Rough around the edges, but I was like, you know what, he seems like a cool guy. So I would end up talking to him a lot, and then we got along. I'll give you an example of one of his stages. Been to New Holland at the 100-yard range, the range off to the left.
Yep.
First stage of the first Mason Dixon Sniper Series match that I ever shot was you start standing with all gear in hand. On the sound of his buzzer, you get down on the ground. I have a video of it, but it's terribly grainy. It's not worth showing you. You get down on the ground and you low crawl 30 yards. And when I say low crawl, he means low crawl on the ground. Because in the audio of the video, you can hear, I said low crawl, not high crawl, because people are on all fours.
They get their butts up.
You had to crawl 30 yards, and then with your shooter number, you had to shoot the corresponding paintball that was glued to a golf tee. And you got 10 points if you hit it, 0 if you didn't. That sums up him. But he was with the law enforcement stuff. I always told him I had aspirations to get on our SWAT team, all that kind of stuff. So when tryouts came up, I had talked to him about some stuff. And then when I got on the team, I had reached out to him about some things. And at the time, our team really didn't have any dedicated snipers on it. They had some. They weren't really active. They were old Remington 700 wood stocks. Nobody ever used them. So I had reached out to him and had got some advice from him and whatnot. And then he reached out to me about coming to one of his sniper courses. He just invited me.
Right.
I brought my own rifle too. I got approval to go from work. Brought my own rifle because we didn't have any rifles at work to use. I had an AI at the time, an Action International. I'm bougie like that.
Yeah, you are super cool.
So it was an AX. I brought that to class, and then, kind of the cards fell. Ended up going through a couple sniper schools, whatever. But that guy I met at Mason Dixon. So Mason Dixon has done a lot for me in terms of shooting, and down the line when I got into running it, it was like giving back to it, in a corny way, because it was like, this has done a lot for me to progress what I wanted to do in life.
Yeah.
So it was fun to then run it and kind of, give back to doing it.
Yeah. So we'll go into your company, Left Edge Society.
Yeah.
One of the things that, and we touched on this before, but that's the fundamentals, right? So what do you feel? Because everyone can have a different opinion on it, but what do you feel are the fundamentals of long range shooting?
I mean, so there's no, I always say there's no like secret sauce to this stuff. If you go to another instructor who's going to teach you, they're probably going to say the same thing, right? So you have like a solid connection to the rifle, you know, like we call it, and this is more from Bob. So little backstory on Bob. Bob is a cop in DC. He's on their full-time team. He's one of their sniper instructors for their team. So this came from him with his sniper schools, was that building a solid connection to the rifle was almost like building a bridge between the buttstock, the rifle itself, and your shoulder. So what we teach in our classes is to bring the gun into you, almost like an A-frame,
right?
And then bringing the rifle down to build like a solid connection between yourself and the rifle. So having that connection to, you know, be one with the rifle, but building that to almost where you have enough tension there where I could support that rifle without even a rear bag. And
that might have helped me not break my collarbone if I
had a connection to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just put it in the right spot. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
We all have to learn our lessons
the hard way.
You
learn the hard way.
To learn the hard way. I had to break my collarbone in order to figure it out.
So like building that solid connection to the rifle. After that, having a good natural point of aim with the rifle on your target. Like we've all been down on the gun when the gun is just not pointing in the direction that you want it to. So now you start muscling it and fighting it. It's not going to do any good, because when you pull that trigger and the gun recoils, it's going to shift one way or the other, because that's where it naturally wants to sit. It's where you have natural point of aim. Again, no secret sauce to this. This is you go to any other instructor, you go to any guy that's on social media, whatever, that's putting out information. It's all going to sound the same. It's just going to be worded a little different or whatever. Good breath control, so that way when you're breathing, you're pulling the trigger on that good natural respiratory pause that you have, so
right.
your reticle's not going up and down. The one thing that we do in our classes, and again other people do it, but we have a trigger cam on the scope itself for the student, and then put it on a big screen. So we'll demo it, but then we'll put them on it, and then we can record it, because then I can give the student their footage. Like, hey, this is what you were doing. You can take that, and then you can analyze that yourself. We'll talk about it in class, obviously, but then you can analyze that yourself and take it with you and be like, hey, I was doing this because of this.
Yeah.
So if I focus on this and eliminate what I was doing, like if I'm on the gun and I breathe, I should be able to watch my breaths in the reticle. I can watch that reticle do this as I'm breathing and know that I want to breathe when it's down here, because this is where my pause is. So you want to focus on that. From there, trigger squeeze, okay? And this is funny because I tell people, good trigger squeeze. Don't slap the trigger, Don't start doing this, Put it on the trigger. Now, whether you have single stage or two stage, we shoot all 2-stage triggers because that's what we shoot in LE, so that's what I, shoot on my other guns too.
Yep.
But put it on there, hit the wall, and just let it break, right? Good trigger squeeze. I've seen shooters, I'm not going to say who they are, but I've seen shooters who yank the trigger, but they're really fucking good. So if you're doing that and you're really good, who am I to tell you not to do that? But at the same time,
because it's set to 0.5 ounces, and if all you do is breathe on it wrong, it's going to fucking go off. So I don't know necessarily if it's a good trigger squeeze or just the fact that the trigger.
So I mean, it's
set so
but
late.
But they're good. So I'm not going to change somebody. That goes to something else that I'll talk about when we get into the kind of the instructional stuff a little bit. And then from there, just like good recoil management, recoiling, letting that recoil straight back into you, and then just settling down. Now, for work, I'm shooting a 16-inch suppressed 308. Okay, there's a lot of freaking recoil from something like that. It's going to push back into you. If you can manage that, and then say you put me on one of your PRS guns that weighs 25 pounds, has a huge break on it, and is a 6BR or a 6-dasher, it's going to feel like nothing.
Right.
So just managing that recoil. And then for us on the LE side of things, managing it so that way I can assess what my shot did and if I need to follow up on it. Right. My job at work is to eliminate the threat. So if I, have all my ducks in a row that, hey, I'm justified to fire on somebody, and I take a shot, I need to know what that shot did. So manage that recoil so I know if I need to follow up because I didn't eliminate the threat the first time and I need to do it with a second shot. So that's that.
So what made you decide to start Left Edge?
So Bob and I had discussed this for a little bit, and originally, like I said, Matt as well, about doing a training company. Bob and I are both firearms instructors at work. We're both sniper instructors. We both, instructed on the range, all that kind of stuff. So our biggest thing was we wanted to do civilian training, intro to long range stuff. I think it's fun teaching people. You don't realize when you're in this community so deep, you don't realize how much you know about this stuff until you take a step back. I'm not saying we're all geniuses, but you don't realize that like people that want to get into this stuff, what is natural to you that you think, oh, this is common knowledge. It's not.
Right.
So, to be able to teach civilians that want to get in the long range, I think that's fun. That's fun for us people that want to better themselves. But our main focus was the law enforcement side of stuff. There's so many training deficiencies with that it's just, the other half of that is that the law enforcement sniper community is so stuck in the past that you need to be able to modernize some things. And I don't know if some people are just afraid to do it or if it's just not out there as much. There are some people that are trying to do that. But I think that was kind of our goal, is to kind of bring, because you learn a lot in competition, right? I got into competition before I was on our SWAT team. So you learn a lot from competition shooting. And some people try to say, you're not going to learn anything from that. You do a lot. And to be able to bring some of that over into a community that's kind of stuck in the past a little bit, that was kind of the goal. So that was our main reason for starting it. Civilian stuff, but mainly focus on the LE side of things.
So what makes Left Edge different than other training companies? What do you try to do to kind of separate yourself?
So in terms of the civilian stuff, I don't know there's a ton. Like I said, there's no secret sauce to that. It's teaching people what we know, but they don't, so they're looking for somebody to instruct them. I don't think there's anything majorly different there. I think the kind of the relationships you form, like we try to stay down to earth. Like I don't try to make this into a regimented, like, all right, I'm the instructor, you do this and you do that. Like I want you to come out and have a good time. If you're not having a good time, you're not going to fucking learn anything.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's there and like, this guy sucks, and somebody might still do that. Like I'm still waiting for a friend to sign up and I don't know they're going to be there and just heckle me in the back. Like you suck, it is what it is. But like there, I want somebody to come and just feel relaxed and not have a care in the world, so to speak, but just come there to have a good time and learn. Because if you're chill, you like the guy that's, you like the person that's instructing you, they're not yelling at you, they're not breathing down your neck, and they're giving you some good instruction, you're going to retain that knowledge so much better than somebody that's going to be super regimented and yell. Like, this isn't the military, this isn't the police academy, we're just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
So we try to keep that kind of attitude towards it. And I think, not that that's different, but I think that's kind of that's something that we offer.
It's always good too when you hear from multiple people the same thing. Like, sometimes the first time you hear something, it doesn't kind of quite click.
Yeah.
And then the second time or the third time that you hear it, it's like, oh, I got it. Like now that's what made it click. So
yeah.
It's good to hear from, like if you hear it from the same person, they can say it 5 times, it doesn't matter, right? It's hearing it from somebody different. Sometimes it makes it just, that's the moment, it just,
sure,
your aha moment of when something clicked for you on whatever it might have been from a shooting standpoint or anything in life, but from a shooting standpoint, sometimes it just takes. So that's why I feel going to, like you were saying in the beginning, you went to a bunch of different training and you still do training courses because it's like, look, I'm a trainer, but I can also learn from other people. I can become better from other people. I can learn new, maybe the way they taught me something. It went out. Everyone has different things.
It went out. I told you were going to yell at me.
You can light it. Do you know how to light a cigar?
I do. I told you were going to yell at me. You're like, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, well, you got to be super, super cool in order.
See?
It'll go out. It's not going to burn the place down. I promise.
Just making sure. All right. I'm sorry. You were saying something important?
No, I don't
Sorry.
say nothing. Nothing I say is ever important. Everyone here ignores me, so I understand.
Yeah. But yeah. So
you
anyways,
hold the training classes at where?
So we're look at that. We're at Ben Franklin Range out in Templeton, PA. It's an awesome place. It offers a lot of different looks. It's a huge complex. It's a huge facility.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of different ranges to use, a lot of different targets. They have 2 different firing lines to use, so different props and a ton of options. So all of our classes this year are there. Plus, we kind of set up a trailer this year, so we have a kind of a match. We have a class on wheels. So we bring targets. So the point of being is that if somebody wanted to host us, whether it's an agency or some range or something like that, we can go and set up a class theoretically anywhere
at any location.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yep.
What do you try to? So I'm coming to your class. Let's say, do you have different levels of class, or just you just kind of gauge it by?
Yeah. So civilian side, we have 2 classes that we set up. For this year, we did a precision rifle groundwork. So everybody needs a flashy name because you can't just say precision rifle 1. That's dumb. So now it's precision rifle groundwork. So essentially, everything on the ground, basics. This is your intro class. So set your groundwork. I thought about like foundation, but I was like, that's overused. So I don't know. Google synonyms for foundation. Groundwork. Oh, okay. Anyway, so basic setup of the rifle, basic fundamentals. Like so we ran a class last year. We called it Precision Rifle 0. Again, just kind of playing with names, see what works, what doesn't, whatever. But essentially the same class. We had 3 classes last year. We cut it down to 2 because we're like, this is a little too split up. I'm not just having a bunch of different classes just for the sake of making money. Like, yes, we're a business. Like, I want to make money off of it, but I'm not. Sure. I'm not just trying to throw crap at a wall just for the sake of doing it. So we cut it down to 2 classes, and it was the first day was all just prone work at 100. There is no magic pill to this. There's no instant gratification. It's like you have to put in the work to build the foundation up, so that way when you do everything else, it becomes muscle memory. Like we were talking about that. Once you hammer the fundamentals, when it comes to other stuff, now you're not thinking about the fundamentals because those things naturally happen for you.
Right.
And that takes time. It takes repetition. So it's all prone 100 yards. And I was kind of apprehensive doing that because I was like, people are going to fucking hate me.
Right.
They're not going to want to come back. They're going to think this is stupid. And look, we were a new company. All this takes time. People don't know who we are. So we only had a few students. It is what it is. They were all happy to do that, which blew my mind. And I was like, look, man, like I was trying to not be like apologetic, but at the same time, I'm like, no, we're going to hammer this. People were positive about it. Like, no, I needed that. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. So that's what we stuck with. So 100 yards prone, all paperwork, because paper doesn't lie. I say this in my classes all the time. Paper will tell you the fucking truth. So let's learn what you're doing wrong. Let's not sugarcoat it. If you sugarcoat it, you're just going to keep doing the wrong thing, and you're gonna feel good about yourself, but it's not going to get you anywhere.
Right.
So we do that, and then the second day is still prone, but like then we get out the distance, and then you start using a kestrel, doing all that good stuff at distance, and that light bulb feeling when people listen to your podcast with Ryan. When you put somebody on a target at 1,000 yards, it's cool because they hit 1,000 yards, but did they understand why it happened? When you teach them why it happened, and then you let them. You're like, okay, we did all that. Now I'm going to back off. Have at it. Here's your range. And when they get on target by themselves because they know why and they know what they're doing, that's pretty fucking cool. Because you're like, I taught them that. So it's corny, but it's neat. Like, I like it. So the other class is precision rifle elevation. So now we're elevating ourselves off the ground. So now it's all positional work. So now we're taking those same fundamentals and now we're doing it on barricades, tank traps, rooftops. It's all off the ground. So again, we'll do 100-yard work off of props. I don't need distance to teach myself to shoot long range. I need to work on the fundamentals and position building. So now we're position building. So after we do some fundamentals, we're not going to spend all day on paper at 100 positional, but at the same time, we're going to do it in the beginning, and then we'll put it on steel at the distance. And now we're shooting positional. Right. And then after that, then we'll run like a miniature like mock competition. Because what I found is when you teach people things, it's one thing to teach them, but when you make little competitions out of it. So one thing that myself and Bob learned from going to sniper schools was that there's always like a top shot competition.
Yeah.
There's always that competition, and competition will breed improvement, because you're constantly striving to be better than the other person. You're like, well, I'm going to get better because fuck that guy. Like, I'm going to win. So I ended up taking Top Shot at my sniper school that I went through, and me and the guy that I was competing with are still friends to this day, and now we hang out. So it's because we competed against each other, but then we became friends.
That's
So
how John Walker and I, we literally, I don't think he beat me, but he beat me.
Well, there's a back. So
Sorry, John.
I'm really debating on whether I should tell this story. I should now, huh?
Yeah, you got it. Now you've teased us. Now we got to.
Yeah. So, all right. So I went through a sniper school in DC. So it was 3 weeks long. So every day there is some sort of competition at the end of the day for Top Shot. Whatever we're working on that day, now we're going to do a Top Shot competition at the end of the day. So we go through, and we're on the last day of 3 weeks. And me and this other guy are real close. And the whole thing in sniper school was target ID. Big thing in police work is target identification, positive identification of your target.
The guy with the mustache.
If you shoot, that's Joe. And you know what? Fuck you, Joe, for shooting the guy with the goddamn mustache.
Go watch podcast 1 and then you'll understand.
Yeah. So Sorry. Funny. No, it's good. So funny, but in all seriousness, if you don't positively ID the person that you need to shoot, and you shoot the wrong fucking person, this is in one of our videos, and I told you I say the F word way too much sometimes, but I feel like I get really, it's important. If you shoot the wrong fucking person, it's a bad fucking day, right? So positive identification is paramount. Last day of the class, if you shot your partner's target, we're on a line, right? ID your target. If you shoot your partner's target, you're going to get bounced from the class. So last day we're shooting paper. We did this whole drill. I can't remember the name of it. Bob knows it, and he's probably going to yell at me for not knowing it, but it was all offhand shooting, whether, prone to kneeling to standing, pop into all these different positions, but all unsupported offhand stuff. Kind of some old school stuff, but still good to know how to, handle your rifle. I shot my partner's target once. So they're down there counting holes. They're scoring everybody's target. All of a sudden they stop and they're spending a long time on mine. And I'm like, motherfucker. And I'm looking at it, and and the guy next to me who I'm friends with now is like, nah, man, you shot the wrong target. You're beat. You're out. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. And like they come back, and like I could tell they knew something, and nothing ended up coming of it. And then I ended up winning the Top Shot competition for the whole school. And then to this day, I still hear about that. So I don't think they can take my cert and my little plaque now. I think we're good. But I'm pretty sure I shot the wrong one. But,
so you have, you're going to do a training also for the Mason-Dixon right before the beginner's match?
Yeah. So
just a one-day train up?
So Mason-Dixon does a beginner's match every year for people that have never shot PRS before. I think at the time when I was helping run Mason-Dixon with Joe, I don't think anybody else in the country did something like that. I think eventually somebody else did. I don't know if it's as consistent. I mean, Mason-Dixon has been running that Pro-Am and now beginner's match. It's got to be over 10 years old. I mean, Bill did that before I was even part of it. So, so I got out of running Mason-Dixon. I wanted to move on to different things, one being Left Edge Society. And then talking to Joe, I'm like, hey, how about we run a class the day before the beginner's match? That way, the beginner's match is meant to be instructional, but now we'll do an extra block of instruction for people. Like, I'll go over how to prep for the match, what is involved in a PRS match, how to approach the match itself, like the day of, hey, what should I have with me, how to prepare for a stage itself, how to prep for a stage. You get a match book. Okay, well, how do I prep for this? What does this actually mean? If they've never shot a PRS match before, they've never done that before.
Right.
So how to go through all that. Then we'll get them on all the props. Hey, you should take this position. Hey, if you're approaching the PRS barricade, this is where you should put this. This is where you should put your foot. This is where all that stuff.
All this one.
And then run some low-key stages for them so that the way they can, okay, now we're going to turn this into a little competition, but we're going to be doing it while instructing them. So that turns into an extension of the beginner's match, which is the next day. So now these people that signed up for that class were like, all right, now I feel a little more confident. Yeah. And we did it the first time last year. It went really well, and the guy that took our class ended up winning the thing. So it was pretty cool to see, you know. Yeah, so we're doing it again this year. We opened up registration on Monday. Today's Wednesday. It sold out in 20 minutes. So
congratulations.
Can't beat that. Thanks.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's I'm looking forward to it. It's cool. Fun. Again, seeing the whole the light bulb thing is pretty neat.
Yeah. So that's about all we got for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and thank Jordan really for spending the time and coming in and talking to us about all this fun stuff. So
yeah, man,
I appreciate it a lot, and hopefully everybody got something out of it, and
hope so.
You know, learn something if nothing else. That we have a lot of fun shooting some of these matches. So if you're interested and you like these matches, I mean, it is a very cool community to be a part of. And I would highly recommend coming out to these type of things and really getting, you know, even if you just come out and watch. Like I've seen guys come out and just watch. I mean, it's just a cool thing to come out and just see people and we'll watch it sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
You can sit and watch. We'll put a chair in the corner and you can just sit there and watch.
That's all I do nowadays. I don't shoot. I'm too old.
That's terrible. Oh, you're talking about shooting.
Oh, shooting.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, but no, like the only thing I'll say just to kind of end everything, especially on the law enforcement side of thing. Get out and try this stuff. Get out and shoot. Go to a competition. You're gonna look stupid the first time. You're gonna do terrible. If you come out and win your first match, well then you're a genius and
you're a unicorn.
You're in the wrong line of work. But just come out and don't be afraid to look stupid, because you're gonna learn so much. You're gonna meet good people, and you're gonna learn. In that whole process, you'll learn so much and be so much better at your job, and that's what we ultimately want to do. So that's that.
So just remind everybody, hey, go like and subscribe to the video or to our channel. Would really appreciate it. Check out Left Edge Society as well. They're a really great company. If you have any comments for any of us, anything about this video and so forth, please make sure to leave it in the comments below. I'd love to have any interactions with you guys. So other than that, we're going to sign off and go have some drinks. So thanks, guys.